Hello everyone, sorry about the lack of update for week 4 and 5. With Christmas and stuff like that, it was just really difficult to get it out. I'm going to be giving you a quick update here. It's not going to be as structured because I just wanted to kind of free flow or freestyle this particular video and let you guys know how everything is going. And things are going really good. I've noticed that I kind of kicked myself in the groin here by mentioning the name of the company that I'm working for, which is HealthLink. Because I've mentioned the company, I can't really go too much into details as to what kind of products and stuff we're going to be working on, what kind of technologies, because that falls under their IP. So I'm an idiot, I will admit that, and I'm going to have to try figure out a way to structure these to still give you guys relevant information and make it more informative for you guys without getting myself sued or otherwise fired from the internship. So in the spirit of that, things have been going really well over the past couple of weeks. As you know, we were initially working on this morale app project, and one of the reasons, you'll notice that jump cut there, I said something that I wasn't supposed to. One of the reasons why we got moved wasn't initially because of somebody leaving, it was just simply we got moved onto something that had more business value. So there was no politics or anything involved, that's just what happened. The project we're working on at the moment is, I think, miles better for us in terms of our personal growth. So we'll be doing a lot of things with databases, we'll be developing APIs, and we actually got a prototype up where we managed to connect to an API and receive a callback function. So that was really cool. APIs is something that's, if you're an intern developer or you're learning about software development, getting to grips with APIs, especially OAuth, is a really critical skill that you can have, and it's something really nice that you can do. So the other day I thought the Twitter API would be kind of fun to mess around with, and you can get things up and running really quickly. So you can use npm, which is the node package manager, I think that's it. But you can basically set up a Node.js server where you can connect to a Twitter API. You can start doing all these really funky things with it. So I thought a Twitter bot would be a good kind of thing for the CV to do, and it is. It's a really nice, easy thing for you guys to do if you're looking to put something on a CV. One of the guys at work, one of the interns, has made a Twitter bot where his family can tweet at it, and it'll redirect them to a web page which basically says Merry Christmas. Myself, I'm making a Twitter bot which, if you tweet at it with a movie, it'll get the IMDb score and send it back, so you can be like Godzilla vs King Kong, it'll send you back a what movie to watch, essentially. So there are lots of really nifty things you can do with APIs, and they're really good to have on a CV because you can be like, hey, I did this, you can tweet at it now, and they'll be like, oh my god, you can tweet at it and it does stuff, oh my god, master coder. So yeah, there's some really cool things that you can do with it, and it's just basically a good thing to have on your CV. So going back to HealthLink and what we're doing a lot of stuff with databases and architecture. So in terms of what we did and why things are going so well over the past couple of weeks, so that's week 4 and 5, we actually got to sit down with a lot of these senior people, and we didn't do a design sprint, but we did something called a design spike, which it wasn't really the best thing we should have done, but we did it and we benefited a lot from it. So before you go and develop a project, you can do this thing called a design sprint, which is basically where you understand the problem. It's got 5 stages. It's like understand, converge, and 3 other things. I wasn't in charge of the design spike, so I'm not that well versed on it. But we did one, and it was really invaluable. It kind of reinforces the idea that when you go into an internship, you need to be talking to the senior people, because those are going to be the most valuable thing that you can do. Oh my god. And the most valuable resources, I should say, that you can utilize when you're actually in your internship is learning people from industry, and they can run through different sets of problems and stuff with you. So one of the things that really helped us out is understanding the architecture of what actually goes on behind some of the particular products. It was absolutely invaluable. So learning how the products were connected, learning what kind of interfaces and stuff like that were used. So really big tip here for your internship is to basically leech onto somebody who lets you leech onto them and learn from them. Absorb as much as you can. Question them about the products, question them about technology, why you'd use X over Y. If you're using this, what kind of things can you do with it? I've learned more in the past couple of weeks talking to actual senior developers than I learned at my time at university. It's been incredibly helpful. As well as that, our product owner as well, he's got a much more directive vision for how we should be doing things, and we're able to pull a lot of resources in terms of knowledge resources from him, which has been incredibly helpful. Before, we were kind of, we had access to people, but it was basically we're doing a lot of stuff on our own, and now we actually have more direct access to those lines of communication. So being able to have that has helped us out a hell of a lot as well. Yeah, that was basically weeks 4 and 5. I know this is really short, but we basically got a prototype implemented. We had a lot of meetings with the senior people, and we learned a hell of a lot from them. We implemented a prototype, and we also did a lot of self-learning and stuff like that. So if I could kind of break this down into what I found useful over the past couple of weeks, then it'll distill essentially down to this. Start developing small tools that you can put on your CV and things that you haven't necessarily used before. So for me, that was Node.js, that was getting an understanding of what happens on the back end. And doing this small tutorials and stuff like that really helped me understand the end-to-end flow of things. It is leeching onto a senior person and basically absorbing as much knowledge as you can from them. And not being afraid to kind of step into the deep end. I mean, I still have no idea what I'm doing, but because we're kind of in an intern team, we're kind of helping each other fill each other's knowledge gaps, which has been quite helpful. So one of the things that is kind of unique to the Agile process is the retrospective. And with a sprint cycle, you do your sprint planning, you start your sprint, it's 2 weeks long typically. And then you have your review, which is where you present your work to the company, and then you do a retrospective afterwards, which is where you sit together with your team, you talk about the things you did well, things you didn't think you did so well, and what things you think you can improve on for the next sprint. And that kind of comes down both to how you work together as a team and individual team members' performances and stuff like that. And part of that is giving feedback on team members, and that may be either something to do with their personality, the way they interact or handle certain situations. And it's a really useful tool. And in our retro, it was good because it was both good and bad. It's kind of awkward because you're basically giving feedback to someone and telling them, hey, this is what you're doing and it's frustrating me, or we think you can be doing this better. And it's receiving that criticism is quite difficult. I know if somebody came up to me and said, hey, you need to be doing this better, and if I've personally been thinking I've been doing a pretty good job at it and found out that it's not the case at all, then it's quite shocking. And it's going to be a learning process on how to kind of take criticism in without taking it too personally. It's kind of a weird thing because it's about a personal issue, but it's for work, and it's a little bit strange. But the important thing I think to remember is that when you are taking criticism and giving criticism as well, it needs to be from a well-intentioned place. The criticism needs to be there and structured in such a way that it's constructive criticism, it's positive criticism, it's allowing you and letting you know of a particular fault, or not even a fault, something you could be doing better. So that's something that I'm going to have to keep in mind over while I've been working with Agile. Is if somebody comes to me with a criticism or a way in which I can do better with my work, is try not to take it personally and take a step back and evaluate, is this a fair criticism? Is this something that I should actually be doing better? And taking that on board. So talking with the team, and the good thing about our team is that everybody is well-intentioned. They won't say something to bring anyone down. It's more, hey, this is something that you can be doing better, that's going to make you a better developer, and it will also make you a better team member as well. So it's worth the awkwardness, I think. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. That was weeks 4 and 5. I'll be getting back into the swing of things after Christmas. Yeah, it's basically been me. I hope you guys have a good break, and I will see you in the next one.